I think I'm going to jump ahead and look at, just one thing I wanted to say about this. In number 1, 2, 3, 4, the fourth one, it says increase in use of rhythm among the 20 to 24. Remember I said it was about 0.1%, the National Survey of Family Growth that tracks that through the United States. Just recently, it came out about 2 months ago that between 20 and 24, that age group, there's been a big jump in regard to use of natural methods. And we would like to analyze why, and I think I pretty much know why. Now, another thing that is increasing is it's sometimes very difficult to get good studies on natural family planning in journals that are that get into the National Library of Medicine and PubMed that people actually get a hold of. Well, I just want to say that one thing is that the Linacre Quarterly, the journal, official journal of the Catholic Medical Association, is very friendly to natural family planning research. It is a peer review. It gets into PubMed, so it's a good journal. But also, Dr. Stanford now is editing a new journal, Frontiers in Medicine for Reproductive Health, which is going to be very much a place where people can submit articles for publication. So to me, that is hope and healing. These are the 4 or 5 areas I think that is happening: internet, social networks, and mobile apps, new fertility monitoring technology, which is real exciting. We just had a conference, with scientists here 2 days ago, and we invited Dr. Amy Berkeley, who is developing these new monitoring that might be a huge advance for monitoring fertility. NFP and the integration with women's health, globalization of science, and then big data. So I'm going to run through this real quick. The internet certainly has changed things. It is the #1 source of health, source of information from women. The proliferation of fertility monitoring apps, as we heard, there's over 1,000. We think these fertility monitoring apps, most of my students are walking around campus with their cell phones, having apps. Well, I think that's why that 20 to 24 group where we find that more utilizing natural methods. We know that there's various organizations like Natural Cycles in Europe. They are over 1 million downloads of a lot of their apps. In fact, Natural Cycles now had become certified in Europe as a method of family planning. They made $800,000 over 2 years selling their apps, even though in order to develop, they spent a couple $1 million. But it shows that you can make money through these new technologies. We have an online system at Marquette University we're developing. It's going to be synced to a website so that as health professionals we can keep on following the tracking and also share it with other people and maybe develop bigger data sets. Social networking in Humanae Vitae talks about what should couples be doing. The Pope said couples who use natural family planning should be supporting one another. The social networking online is a mechanism to do that. However, sometimes they get a little off track, and sometimes you need to have some direction for that. I would make a little caution. The accessibility of the internet and mobile apps. This is a picture from National Geographic, and it shows that even in some of the villages of Africa are able to download and get information into their handheld devices. That young woman over way to the left is falling asleep there. That's a lot of my students look like. So I wish I had the ones that are real wide awake and smiling like that. Just to show us how you can get the new technology through the internet, through very cheap type devices in order to reach that information. There are now new hormonal fertility monitoring. The other thing is precision medicine. So just looking at one method or one indicator, there might be different ones for some women. Those going through perimenopause might need other types of monitoring devices or hormonal indicators. So we want to be more precise of not just saying this is a method for all through the reproductive life. We do have new technology. We utilize Clearblue and Persona in Marquette University, in the Marquette model, which measures hormones. But just recently, there's a new hormonal test to measure progesterone. I'll be talking about that a little bit later, by Dr. Amy Berkeley. She came to our conference, however, and she brought some devices that by the end of the year are going to be available. One of them is just measuring with a cell phone various type of hormones. Another one, you clip it on, it measures FSH and progesterone and tracks your cycle through hormones with your cell phone. I mean, that's where the technology is going. So I think it's a big leap from paper charts to just using a cell phone and getting hormonal indicators, accurate indicators. To me, that's really exciting. The integration of natural family planning and women's health, I think Dr. Ravielli illustrated the importance. I think women more and more are realizing, the NIH actually realized this, that there has been conferences on the menstrual cycle as a vital sign for women's health. Well, if you are suppressing your menstrual cycle artificially, you don't know what's happening. So tracking your cycles, there's a huge amount of information that you can find out. One of my doctoral students, Dr. Humanae, has developed a valid instrument to measure fertility knowledge. And we know that through many studies throughout the various countries of the world, that people do not know their fertility, young women and young men. Even those trying to get pregnant don't know when to have intercourse. So hopefully more fertility knowledge and understanding the importance of that. We also have newer efforts where we heard about NAPRO technology and their care centers throughout the country, integrating NFP with women's health. We have the new FEM programs that are doing similar things. And Dr. Margarita Duane talked about FACTS, which is exciting, trying to get more information to students. Globalization of science. Back in the 80s and 70s, you have the jet age where people would jet around to go to conferences in Hong Kong, things like that. Now we have the internet to be able to do a lot of that. The International Institute Restorative Reproductive Medicine has monthly conferences or web pods and online conferences with scientists, so reaching them easily. These researchers here, the top row is Dr. Blackwell from New Zealand and his associate, Dr. Thomas Bouchard from Calgary, Dr. René Ecochard from University of Lyon, France, and me. We worked together on a research project, published it in Steroid Journal, and that young woman, Dr. Amy Beckley, read about it, and about 9 months later after it was published, she called me up and said, I'm going to develop a progesterone test to confirm ovulation based on that study in steroids. And sure enough, 8-9 months later, she had that P-test, and right now we are studying the use of it. I just want to point out some other international researchers. Well, we had Dr. Petra Frank Herman here. That person down here is Dr. Bruno Scarpa is over there. He's a biostatistician. He lives right on the canal in Venice. So when you go to Venice, see him. He'll give you a gondola ride. That young man right here, Dr. Paul Young, he is a MD, PhD in Vancouver at the University of British Columbia School of Medicine. He is an international renowned endometriosis scientist, and just about 4 months ago, it hit some of the new things that they're finding out about endometriosis, the causes of that, hit the international news. So excited about this young MD, PhD researcher. This shows the P-test that came out in just a little while ago that we're studying. Big data, having large amounts of data collected through various groups of either government or different ways is very important and gives you more validity, generalizability, validity. Why is that important? Well, Denmark, every woman has to go through their health system. And so you can say a lot of information, or you can say with more validity, generalizable validity, what is happening. Well, the two studies that came out showing that the pill can cause depression among women taking it, and also a high level of risk for cancer. To me, in regards to scaring people, that is scary. Millions of menstrual cycles of data, you can look at patterns. The National Survey of Family Growth I've been utilizing to look at the differences of divorce and other things. However, there are security problems. I'm just going to end with this slide. The internet and social networking has changed society, and as a result has a profound effect on NFP and NFP systems. There's a revolution in online charting systems, more refined biological indicators, NFP social networking groups, and integrative healthcare that includes NFP. The globalization of health research and the ability to gather large data sets have provided evidence that confirms the predictions and truth exposed in the encyclical Humanae vitae. That evidence is showing more interest in the use of NFP and for avoiding and achieving pregnancy and integration into women's health care. Thank you.